What a combination you've got. That will not be the case tomorrow. We do have some cooler air and some really nice temperatures in the forecast following some showers that are going to roll through for the latter part of the week, for the weekend. And it's, once again, a bit of a roller coaster ride in your forecast, and it's been updated in the last 24 hours. I'll let you know how in just a few moments and try to give you an idea as to when best to make some outdoor plans. Tonight, a great night to do so. Good evening to be outside and maybe enjoy a little time on the patio or by the pool if you so have the opportunity, and God bless you if you do. A whole lot of news to talk about this evening, including the first ever summer camp hosted by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. We'll see what kids were doing today. I was watching from a distance for reasons that you'll see in just a few moments, as was Sheriff Dwayne Price at one point, or at the entire evening, or for the entire event. I'll get to that in just a few seconds, and some thoughts on an event yesterday that I just wish to share with you that I've wrestled with all night and all day. And I'll elaborate more, an update on Eric C. Kahn and that situation and much more. The Magoffin County Courthouse is going to be closed tomorrow, is my first announcement of the program. They'll be closed due to the funeral of Howard Hensley, who was Magoffin County's court clerk from 1966 through 1981. Everyone at the courthouse and the judge's office asks that you please remember his family in your prayers as they go through such a loss. Now, they want to stress, open for the fiscal court meeting, which has been set for tomorrow. This is a special called meeting. I have the agenda for such in my hand just to scan and give you an idea as to what is on the agenda. A second reading, which will be the final reading of the budget for Magoffin County, Kentucky Natural Lands Trust, approval to pay a tire grant, a Big Sandy ad address, a block grant request to the tune of $205,000, a resolution on the Mountain Parkway, water board appointment, some generator bids at district court, community labor, jail board contract, statutes of the judge executive's office to be addressed, a jail board contract, if I didn't mention that, and some other items. We'll have a camera there, maybe a portion of the report starting on tomorrow's program. Depends on the length of the meeting. Could be quite long, given the agenda that I just read, at least in part. Eric C. Kahn was at a hearing today. It was a hearing that resumed from an abbreviated one last week. The judge had to leave on an emergency. Eric Kahn's words, you could also say, were abbreviated or nil today, as he did today, as he did in the hearing, of course, which first came to light on the congressional level, invoked his Fifth Amendment right to testify for fear of self-incrimination. Which means that Kahn is yet to testify or officially enter any remarks into court proceedings, either for the congressional hearing or for any of the proceedings since. Also included therein would be the civil lawsuits against him. He did invoke his Fifth Amendment right yesterday to testify. His attorneys, though, on his behalf, requested that the judge dismiss the civil suit against Kahn and his law offices, and in doing so, denied the request for injunctive relief. The judge did take that into consideration. He also told Kahn and everyone present in the courtroom, per reports, that he will reveal his decision and have it by tomorrow at noon. This hearing once again taking place earlier today. I'll be back with a big time to be had at the Paintsville Lake today and an update on a violent robbery and beating in Johnson County. We've got those headlines and more next. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. What a nice day to be on or around the Paintsville Lake. Around it was as close as I got, but for a whole lot of kids and myself, that was as close as you had to be to have a whole lot of fun at the very first annual summer camp hosted by the Sheriff's Department in Johnson County. It's definitely time for some summertime fun, and a couple of dozen kids have been having just that in Paintsville, all courtesy of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. Talk about a cool way to spend an afternoon by the Paintsville Lake. And actually, 5 mornings and afternoons for campers at the first ever summer camp hosted by the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Dwayne Price says that a request from a mother helped spark the thought and then fuel the interest that they have seen grow into what they are most assured will be the first annual of its kind.
A lot of parents in the county don't want to send their kids halfway across the state, so we decided we'd give this a shot, and we've been successful with it. So we plan on trying to do this every year.
My name's Tirza, but I can go by T.
Okay. And what grade are you in?
I'm going to be in 6th.
6th. Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Macy. We did archery. We did fishing. We went to the dam. Yeah, we went to the dam today. And we're about to learn about snakes right now.
What we're hoping they'll take home with them is how easy it is to say no to drugs. Our county and other counties have an epidemic, and this is 26 kids here to try to make them comfortable, walk up to a police officer without being scared. We've talked all week long about how easy it is to say no to drugs and explain to them what drugs can do to you. They can obviously end your life or land you in jail. We try to stress to them about the importance of staying away from guns, because guns don't kill people; people kill people. And stay away from their parents' medicine cabinets, and just whatever we can throw in there, spur of the moment. Just teach them safety, and first and most of all, how easy it is to say no to drugs.
Joel May.
And
Noah Martinez.
So far we've made ice cream, we've done archery, fishing, which is kind of fun. Fishing was my personal favorite. Right now it's the wonderful Whale Snake, and we just came back from the Paintsville Dam.
Yeah.
So
you all had a lot of fun doing this?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I think that it would be all fun. Yeah, it's been all really fun.
How cool was the archery?
It was really cool. It was kind of difficult for me. I rarely ever hit the target. So yeah.
Got to start somewhere. How hard was making ice cream?
It was fun. It was okay. We had to shake it for like 15 minutes.
That we were supposed to make it with, and so I had to drink it instead of actually eating it.
And today's feature attraction from the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, one of the most renowned of its kind in the nation, literally was the wild world of snakes, where if you're like me and not real fond of the creatures, well, I learned today, like did the kids, there's one you want around.
This is a black king snake. Like I said, you do have these here. And this is a snake that I always tell people, if you don't like snakes, these are worth having around. They get their name king snake for a specific reason. Now these guys are garbage disposals. They will eat anything. They will eat mice, rats, frogs, lizards, toads. In fact, he likes to eat other snakes so well that anytime I do a program, he's always the first guy that I get out. If I go through any of the other ones and then handle him, he thinks my finger is...
He was about to say food, and then the black king snake proved his point.
Hey, what'd you do that for?
Bite you?
Yeah, he just bit me. Stop it. I didn't wash my hands at home whenever I got the other...
He's right here.
Huh?
Did you raise him from a baby?
That hurt my feelings. You've never done that before.
We're just going to build on what we've done this year, and hopefully repeat it next year. The communities, their input and their donations have made this possible. Again, without community trust, you got nothing.
It's a what now?
They have been taught everything from gun safety, as you heard, drug safety and how easy it is to say no. Tomorrow, basic first aid, dangers of impaired driving. They'll get fingerprinted and get cards to take with them. Friday, the age-old technique of tin punching by the Oscar artist over at the old Oil Springs Elementary School. And the canine dogs. A bunch of dogs from around the state will show them and give them an exhibition of how smart and how talented they are. How cool is that? And how creepy is that you're looking at? A phenomenal success for the first year. First week wraps up Friday. If you want to get in on next year, call ahead to the Sheriff's Department. Might be a good idea. I spoke with Terry Tussey, Deputy Terry Tussey, also while on scene today, questioning him about a violent robbery and attack that took place in Johnson County over the weekend. They're still asking, he says, the public for any information regarding the home invasion. It took place early on Sunday over the course of the weekend. William Williams, who's 55 years of age, is still recovering. He was attacked. He said that he was sleeping on his couch and he woke to someone literally breaking into his residence. He says that two men burst their way inside by kicking open the door. They proceeded to shine a light in his eyes, and they proceeded to inform him and pretend that they were the police there to execute a search warrant. However, they were unable to offer up any credentials upon his request, and then they began to beat him rather violently. Williams said that the two used a crowbar to repeatedly strike him, and that then after that, they took of him his money from his wallet. They also went through the residence. They went through his pockets, and they took several items. Now, the Sheriff's Department and Deputy Terry Tussey, who I spoke with, says that they do have some leads and they have some information, and they're not releasing any other details about the two suspects at this time, but they are requesting that if you have any information or know someone who may, to please call the Sheriff's Department, as the case is under investigation, and they have high hopes of maybe breaking this case sometime in the relatively near future. We certainly hope that they do. With that said, it's on to tonight's community calendar. As always, it's brought to you by our friends and your local agent, Doug Green at McGoffin Farm Bureau.
And it starts with a birthday wish from your sisters and a whole lot of your family, Opal. Happy birthday to Opal Powers this Wednesday, the 24th. Happy birthday to you, Opal, from your sisters and family, too. A couple of reminders. One, the McGoffin County Head Start program is taking applications for the fall 2015 school year. Be here before you know it, moms and dads. Call the Head Start office at 349-3488 or drop by the office to pick up an application or find out more. This is a special invitation for you to join everyone at St. Luke's Church. They're having a dedication ceremony this Sunday afternoon at 2. The church will be celebrating the blessing and dedication of their new facility Sunday at 2. Bishop John Stone will be there presiding, and they hope you'll join them. And I hope you'll join the community calendar anytime you've got a birthday, anniversary, or other announcement. This is how you get them on the show. And a reminder, you can always catch programming at a later time in case you missed it the first time or need to catch it again at yournewstoday.com. Turning to funeral service announcements brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, we have a listing for 63-year-old Rocky Lane Jenkins of Pricey Creek. He passed away on the 21st, the son of Betty Helton and the late Garland Jenkins, and besides his mother, he's survived by son Brandon and daughter Amy Music. Visitation continues this evening and up until the start of services, which is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and a reminder that burial will follow tomorrow at the Jenkins Cemetery at Pricey. Former McGoffin County Court Clerk, as I mentioned earlier in the program, Howard Hensley, 85 of Lacey Creek Road, passed away on Monday. He was preceded in death by his wife, Mella Isaac Hensley. He survived by his daughter, Jennifer Hensley Tackett. And visitation continues this evening and prior to services, which are set for tomorrow afternoon at 2, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with services to be followed by burial at the Isaac Cemetery on Flat Fork. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. I'm going to close with some thoughts on last evening's prayer circle for a local little girl and some other thoughts as well. So I'm going to go ahead and skip on over to your Licking Valley RACC forecast. I couldn't be at the prayer circle last night, as heartbreaking as it was for me not to be there, but I do have some photographs and some thoughts that I just wanted to share with you real quickly. After a brief forecast that has us, check it out, 65, partly cloudy, calm wind. Haven't said that very often as of late, much in the spring, certainly very early in the summer, but haven't much either. Tomorrow, we kind of get back to at least one pattern that we have had to endure, and that's the heat and humidity. We'll see some isolated showers and thunderstorms maybe after 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll start off with a little fog in the a.m., patchy, I think, at most. Mostly sunny and hot. 90 degrees, I think. Winds 5 to 7 maybe out of the southwest in the morning. Tomorrow night, some showers and thunderstorms are likely, but we're talking midnight, 4 a.m., and later. And those will continue on into your Friday forecast with showers and storms likely. Mostly cloudy. Highs cooling down a bit. 83, winds from the west, maybe 5 in the afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms Friday night as well. Lows right around 67. And that trend takes us into your weekend with cooler air, mind you. We're talking about 75 and cloudy. Still, showers and storms are likely, most likely, on your Saturday. Don't see much hopes of many early plans, at least Saturday night. The chances start to diminish for showers and storms, and then even though there's a slight chance in there Sunday, I think it's going to be really slight. And I'm thinking 75 and mostly sunny means that Sunday, albeit a little off the mark and a little milder, is going to be a really nice day with a low of 57. Next week, we'll have the upper 70s on Monday, still dry and calm, and then we'll get back to the low 80s, maybe for a long run thereafter. Maybe some nice mild temperatures, maybe all the way through the 4th of July even. Yeah, I just said that.
So I told you before last evening about the prayer circle that had been organized and was to be held as it was in the Ramey Park, all in honor of 13-year-old Brooke Caldwell, who is still recovering, still in critical condition in the pediatric ICU unit at Cabell Huntington Hospital after being seriously injured and suffering a traumatic head injury in an ATV accident here in Magoffin County now days ago. Well, I had a commitment for one of my children that kept me from going to the park last night, and by the time I made it back, they had already dispersed and the event was over. But it was not before a monumental showing of support that I do have some evidence of tonight. And I wrestled all night with some other thoughts that I had been just feeling for days now, and really slept very little as to whether or not to mention them all in one sentence or segue or report, because I didn't want them to be tied together. But I think I've got them down well enough to where you can kind of understand the point at the end, at least, I'm trying to make. And it's a good point there, but it has to start off with things that indeed have been bothering me. I know hate is a strong word, but doing this program, as I've been here trying not to make the news but report the news for now 17 years, it's hard not to at least form opinions on my own. And along with the good often comes, sadly, the bad. There are a lot of things that I just hate. You just hate to have to endure and have to live through, but that indeed is just the way it is. We are the factual epicenter, of course, for the drug problem that continues to destroy in so many lives, and that's something that's on the forefront of so many families here locally and around the viewing area. I hate that Magoffin County has, for example, historically and will more than likely remain, at least for an unforeseeable future, at the very bottom of all the counties when it comes to the highest unemployment rates, each and almost most every month at least. And of course, with the coal situation, jobs and the economy and local families that are hurting from a combination of any and all of that, of course, is just also on the forefront of a whole lot of minds, and it's something that no one can take any joy out of, and it's something that everyone would like to have some sort of a solution for. I also really hate the fact that, and it is a fact, that political corruption, which has long been a part of our history and our legacy here in Magoffin County, continues to have a stranglehold on our people and on our government and our future. And I hate that any day now, and I don't say this lightly or without any understanding, I hate that any day now headlines all across the nation are going to declare Magoffin County the most politically corrupt in perhaps all of the 3,141 counties across this nation. I say that because it's what I love that outweighs all of that, and you have to have something to keep you going, and that's my focus from this point further. I do love, among other things, but as it pertains to this segment, several attributes which make me, regardless of those negatives just mentioned, hope that my kids and their kids will want to move here or stay here and call this home. I love the fact that for nearly 17 years you have so graciously invited me into your homes, and I hope hearts. And at the same time, just like on yesterday's show, when I have the opportunity to share with you the story of someone passing through over the years, maybe on a horse, a bicycle, on foot, trekking across our great nation, or, as was the case yesterday, someone from Louisville, or perhaps even Louisiana for that matter, here on business or pleasure, when they tell me during a report that like Miss Kruger did yesterday from KET, that they're taken back by the hospitality and generosity graciously extended to them by someone they had just met, offering directions, maybe a good meal, maybe a soft bed, all kinds of stories for which there were too many for me to recollect here. But one fine example I can come up with off the top of my head to kind of emphasize that is just a few weeks ago, and you'll recall the report with Ben Claggett was his name, young man trekking through Sagersville on his way to the West Coast. He was given 2 nights rest, I think we spoke about. He was taken out for dinner. He was invited to share a very special day with our county, the Cystic Fibrosis Walk, and then he was encouraged to stick around for another day or as long as he'd like by altogether dozens of people, and he never asked for any of that attention or care. And he was a man that I would just meet after all that basically had happened, and he was on his way down the Mountain Parkway. And then he told me of his fond time spent here. I spent 2 days thereafter calling ahead for him. I called Winchester and Lexington churches, big churches and organizations, trying to help further his cause and hoping that we could find someone down the line that would show him the same love. But after Campton, which too, like Sagersville, welcomed him with open arms and as one of their own, or maybe even better than one of their own, that warm, inviting, charming desire that he had seen here about someone wanting to help a neighbor or stranger, I gotta be honest, it ran out. I bet I made a dozen calls to those big cities for a couple of days trying to find him some accommodations, and I spoke with big churches, organizations, and all of those calls that I made personally fell on deaf or disinterested ears. And it's just such a stark comparison. I love how that regardless of political, personal, financial, social, or other differences, when we're faced with trials or tribulations here, and not just in McGoffin County, but everywhere that this is reaching via television or something far less than graceful, tornadoes or traumatic events, we instantly become a united front. And that calling on a neighbor or stranger that you otherwise might not call on a regular or daily basis is really not even necessary, because they're already there, ready to fight, ready to stand with you or be there for you without a call being placed. Nowhere else could that sentiment, and this is the point that I've taken so long to get to, nowhere else could that sentiment be seen or felt more than in the Ramey Park on yesterday. Like I said, I couldn't be there last evening, and it was with a lot of heartfelt regret that I just couldn't make it happen. As a father, I felt a lot more than just comfort knowing that this is the kind of love and support a community like ours will give to a little girl and her family that many who were there only know of because of the terrible accident she was in and really didn't even know who she was before it happened. And that prayer is alive, and it's very well, and it's a very integral and inspiring part of our community.
And all that love and inspiration was alive and well yesterday as hundreds of people from this community, and I'm sure many others, flocked to the Ramey Park in Sagersville to hold hands and offer up prayers for a little girl who so desperately and deservedly needs them. We're told that doctors hope to start to wean Brooklyn off of her medication in the coming days and to further determine her recovery process from here, which we hope will be expedited by all the prayers that were offered in her honor yesterday. I have little else to say in the matter except that I do wish to thank Michael Wells and 2 Clicks Photography for allowing me to share their photographs with you, in hopes that you will continue to share thoughts and prayers in Brooke's honor, in hopes that she returns home one day soon.